Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. This morning I'm currently in Kirinyaga University. I'm just parking. I'm shooting this video in the parking lot, waiting for Edwin and the brother. They're supposed to arrive here so that we start the process of admission. They'll give him an update on that. Now, there is this information that I've just seen coming now. Miguna has finally decided to sue CS Matian'gi over the 2018 trouble. He insisted that it's indeed something regrettable, that what Miguna went through in this country is not something that you will not even wish for your worst enemy. But then there are little bit of some goalposts that have changed, and that is why I want us to look at it. And again, the timing around this. It is also happening at a time William Ruto is going in Nyanza, the Nyanza tour. He's heading to Nyanza. Number two, it's also happening at a time when some quarters that work with William Ruto from Nyanza have been asking Raila Odinga to retire from active politics. So this is a point, this is a matter that has been here, and I wanted us to look at it critically because I don't think it is just a move that has just been arrived at without some very critical objective. But before that, I want to say thank you for those who have supported us through this fundraiser. I know there are those who even sent me, when I said I was coming this side driving, those who sent me a fuel. I'm just so grateful. So I believe that we'll start the process, then we'll know how it goes, what's needed, and then I shall update you on this. But I'm just so grateful for this. Now, Miguna is telling us that he's suing Kenya Kwanza. He's suing CS Matian'gi and some Uhuru era civil servants that were against him, or rather that were behind his troubles. And in that same statement, he's saying that when he met William Ruto last year, William Ruto apologized to him personally and also apologized on behalf of Uhuru Kenyatta. And so, according to Miguna, William Ruto is very clean and he will just simply go after the CS Matian'gi. I don't know how long we will have to remind the Canadian-based lawyer, the man with dual citizenship, that William Samoei Ruto was actually the deputy president of during by then. And by any chance, William Ruto was bragging that he was the engine behind Uhuru Kenyatta. How many times have you seen William Ruto's team saying that were it not for us, maybe Uhuru Kenyatta wouldn't have become president? So this assertion is actually misplaced. And I want to tell you that this move has come a year later after Miguna came back in the country. Remember that case, it had been there, beat, then it failed. But many would expect that immediately he came, because he came back on 20th October during Mashujaa Day. William Ruto wanted the hype for that day. That's why then the day he came back, immediately he came, that case would have started by then. But it didn't. It has never. Now is finally picking up the case. There's some two political developments I want us to see. Miguna applied for the position of DPP. And when he applied for that position of DPP, his name was missing. He was not shortlisted, especially for interviews. Amongst those who were shortlisted, he did not make to the final shortlist. And many really understood, would Miguna be the new DPP? People thought it was going to be the new DPP, but that is not seems to be coming. So that is something that we've actually been making. So the other second political development is this move is coming at a time when William Ruto has just appointed some new ambassadors. Yes. Could it be that Miguna was promised some ambassador position and is falling out with William Ruto? Could it be? Because immediately after the reshuffle, apart from the reshuffle, there were some appointments, even government spokesperson. Maybe was it to be employed as the spokesperson? It's something you might think about. Or ambassadors were also appointed. So that's a context. But this is the second coming. This is the second coming of Miguna. The first coming of Miguna, he came here and wanted to liberate Luos. And all those he moved in Nyanza counties, demonizing Raila Odinga, and was actually chased in a couple of some few funeral ceremonies when he was talking ill about Raila Odinga. And that move did not occur. Secondly, I also want to bring into your attention that if Matian'gi is being dragged to court, then remember this is a second attempt. The first attempt was in March when he was charged, and immediately was charged. The gun, the search, there was some corruption case, then there was a search done on his house, then before you know, he was summoned at DCI, and remember all that drama until the case was finally dropped. But by that time, it was political witch hunt because the state believed that Kina Matian'gi were actually behind the Azimio fold. And so, what is the motivating factor behind Miguna case? Why now? If you wanted to sue Miguna, you've been here. You came back last year in October. Why has it taken you so long to sue Miguna? That is the question I want us to answer in this podcast. And this is what I say. Miguna is actually floating back this case to get a victim card in his political comeback. There is something that Miguna has been struggling to do. When he came back the first instant, he wanted to replace Raila Odinga. And of course, now by supporting William Ruto and saying the way Azimio team were disorganized and they didn't win the last election. So he came to give William Ruto legitimacy. But his intention was to uproot Raila from the Nyanza space. And you will see, I remember organizing a couple of few events in Kisumu, Migori, and attending some funerals in his village in Nyando. And even in that Nyando, he was chased. But that seems to have not worked because by then he was looking at the Nyanza. What I am seeing here, Miguna wants to whip emotions of supporters by floating this case that I'm a victim. And mostly, this is targeting the urban space. If I am to look at through the telescope, my bold telescope, it is a card that is targeting Nairobi. And maybe Miguna is looking at something in Nairobi. So, he just wants a situation where, not even winning the case, because I'm telling you, winning the case is a whole different story. And he had realized that William Ruto had shown intention that he was not going after the other team. And so, this is one thing that is here. Number two, there have been latest attempts by Kenya Kwanza, and I think even my previous video mentioned about it, trying to look for Raila Odinga, or rather trying to demonize Uhuru Kenyatta regime. There would be a diversionary scheme to demonize Uhuru Kenyatta regime. And this, if this is motivated, if Miguna has not fallen out with William Ruto, and William Ruto is fully behind it, then the motive behind this move will be to demonize Uhuru Kenyatta regime. Because, as we talk, there have been talks about violation of human rights. And the violation of human rights, one of them then was Miguna. That is not something we can deny. And what would really people want to see here is, because William Ruto is already losing his popularity just due to the governance problem. We've had a governance tragedy in this country. So what will he do? Instead, he will pull the Miguna card. So that when Matian'gi is in court, Matian'gi will be seen as the bad man, and us versus them, he tries to get some leverage. The other third interpretation I'm seeing here, the bipartisan talks is currently going on, and those talks are the outcome. Everyone else is anxiously waiting for the outcome of those talks. There is a clear line, there is a possibility that we can get to some referendum. We can get sort of some referendum. So what does that show you? This can still be part of the wider scheme for Miguna to get himself in the political limelight, looking for alignment, and will test the waters. Will William Ruto allow me to go after Matian'gi? Is William Ruto behind this deal? That is the question. So if you drag Matian'gi, before you take Matian'gi, you will get some few media interviews. Remember, he lost media interviews. There was someone who is a member of this channel where Miguna used to stay in a hotel around Kilelesha, who told me that immediately he used to stay in that hotel and then would leave those hotels going for those interviews. Now immediately I think the interviews were the drama at Standard, where he was given some form to sign, some indemnity form to sign, and he refused. The other media houses then stopped giving him airtime. And by the way, Miguna has been in the country, and I don't remember when last he was even given an interview. So there was that total blackout that was given, and that blackout was well sponsored even by those who believe well that they control. So it will be a plan, Miguna, to come back to the limelight. Number 3, it should still be a revenge mission. I know that there are quite a number of people that Uhuru Kenyatta did not work with them well, and those people maybe are in government now. And remember the way Itumbi will speak harsh and hard against Matian'gi, and calling him all sorts of names. People have always wondered where, and he's always trying to. So there is a political revenge card that could still be coming from some quarters. But let me tell you, 2 things I am seeing. I want you to ask yourself this. If Miguna would have been given that DPP position, do you think he would have picked this case? Because he wanted to be the DPP. So would he have gone through with this case? Number 1. If Miguna was given some job, some parastatal job in government, the way, if you look at pro-Ruto leaders from Luo Nyanza, there is some kidogo wanapewa. Do you think he would have gone? No. This is a case, it is 2 things. Number 1, Miguna is just showing some rage over Ruto betrayal. And most likely, it is about a job. Ruto might have promised him a job, and most probably I'm seeing something like ambassador. And because nothing is coming on his way, he has decided to go back to the political fold. Remember, he was dumped by then. So immediately he realized, there's nothing now coming on, I'm on my own. He's decided then to pick these side shows. According to me, the side shows, because William Ruto was in government by then. So if you want to sue Matian'gi was acting on behalf of Uhuru Kenyatta. So Uhuru and Ruto. So surely you cannot single out one person unless there is some intention that is here. But William Ruto can also still be behind it. I don't want to rule that out. It's very also likelihood that William Ruto is behind it, because he knows the repercussions. He knows that we will be told you're going after Urume era men, and it is a likelihood that he also wants to get some diversions from the discussion going on. Thank you.